I cannot wait for All Out, as we have something very special to talk about on Screw the Script in this video from Dynamite yesterday, and we'll talk about the other things that happened on Dynamite on Screw the Script. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so on any of my videos. It really helps my channel, as I'm very new to this still. It's only been 5 or 6 months since I started my channel, and the channel growth that I'm seeing is very fulfilling and rewarding, and I hope that continues. Before I get to the main chunk of this video, we saw a lot of cool things happen last night. We saw Hook return. Great new entrance song, the one that he's been using in his video packages for returning these last few weeks. He came out to that, attacked Wheeler Yuta. Amazing segment. The crowd loved it. We saw Hangman get saved by Kenny Omega, and a callback to when they were teaming together like 3 or 4 years ago. I loved every second of that. Just a lot of really good things that happened last night. Last night on Dynamite, it was a really good, solid episode of Dynamite. Amazing venue that they were at. Historic. So many ECW memories came to mind. I loved the entire setup. The crowd was hot. The entrance was great. The cage entrance on the side. It was perfect. As perfect as a small venue can get. AEW still gets a lot of shit for running these unique venues, is what I like to call them, because they are very unique. I think it's really cool week by week to see different setups instead of the same setup every single week that you get with Raw and SmackDown, for the most part anyways. They sold it out. It was about 2,000 people, but it sounded like 20,000 people at times. There are certain pops that happened. A lot of great stuff happened. We saw an incredible main event with Darby Allin's first singles match since being back, which he ended up beating Claudio. That was awesome. I love seeing Darby Allin back. He truly is a staple of AEW Pro Wrestling. He is the embodiment of what it is to be all elite. Tough as nails. Truly is one of the most unique wrestlers in pro wrestling today. I mean, the dude literally fucking climbed Mount Everest. He does all these crazy skateboarding things all the time. Just everything about his package, his look, his entrance, it's perfect. And having him back was great, and it was a great main event. But the thing that I want to talk about the most, from everything that happened last night, I want to talk about what we saw for All Out, an announced match that is all I need for me to buy it, and that is Edge and Christian reunion going against FTR. Man, oh man, am I fucking hyped for that. Edge and Christian has been one of the best tag teams ever across any company. Yes, majority of their career was spent in WWE. Christian moved on to TNA for a while. Edge is now Adam Copeland in AEW after his very, very long run in WWE. But we all know them as Edge and Christian. Doesn't really matter by their name. It's the history behind the two wrestlers. And I cannot sit here and explain enough how excited I am for these two guys to finally be tagging. I think for the first time in 12 years, I think it is. I could be off a year or two there, but still a very long time since these two have last even had a tag team match together on pay-per-view. And they had their first one ever for Forbidden Door. It was kind of a weird first tag team match to have back together. At some point, they are going to take the tag titles, I feel like, from Brodito. If any team's going to take it from them, I think it's going to be Edge and Christian one last time being tag champs. I think that's why the Hurt Syndicate wanted to... I saw a rumor that they wanted to lose to a young team, and Brodito is a young team, an upcoming team, and now they're champs. And they're a face team, so it makes sense that at some point I want to see Edge and Christian eventually challenge them and have it be a rare face versus face. Just, great wrestling tag match, and we see Edge and Christian win tag titles for the very last time in their careers, most likely. I'm extremely hyped for that. And that's what I really wanted to talk about on this shorter video. I'm making it much shorter than my usual videos again because I have plans, but let me know what you think about Edge and Christian and FTR at All Out. My money's already sold on getting All Out just for that match alone, because it will probably be, one of the last pay-per-view matches you see Edge and Christian team up together, because I don't expect this to be a very long run. So, it's numbered, just like John Cena's farewell tour over in WWE. This is probably their last hurrah. You see it over in TNA right now too, with WWE and TNA are partnering with the Hardys and the Dudley Boys. Like, I'm excited for that as well. All three teams were a part of one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. It's going to be an amazing match at All Out. Other quick things I just want to cover that happened last night. Moxley and Garcia had a really, really good technical match. It was a nice change of pace to see Moxley wrestle that way. He ends up picking up the win. And then we see Garcia on the outside kind of get into it with Moxley, but then Moxley gives him, kind of like a tough love tap on the shoulder, as if, that he, maybe he likes the kid. Are we going to see Garcia turn heel? I thought we were going to have Forbidden Door on Nigel, and that didn't happen, but maybe I am right about his slow heel turn, except it's going to be to join the Death Riders, possibly. And speaking of Death Riders, more news that I saw is that Gabe Kidd is officially a long-term partner with the Death Riders, despite being still signed to New Japan. I do fully expect him to sign to AEW when that New Japan contract is fully through, because he's just being featured more and more weekly. I liked when he showed up last night on Dynamite, although it did not help Claudio beat Darby Allin in that main event, which I'm getting back to again. Really, really good main event, especially in that venue. Perfect way to close out Dynamite last night. A Falls Count Anywhere match. Didn't go too crazy for a weekly episode. That coffin drop from the top of that pillar. Just so many good moments happened in that match. It's great to have Darby Allin back, and I cannot wait for Edge and Christian, or Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, now as known as, to have their match against FTR. Both Mark Briscoe and MJF had really, really good backstage promo segments that were aired. Man, MJF's enthusiasm, when he really locks into those promos, he really locks in. And same goes for Mark Briscoe. I mean, I feel like he's underrated when it comes to promos and in the ring. He had a really good retaliation promo later on in the night, and I enjoyed both. And I'm only assuming that it's going to lead to a match at All Out later in September, because Briscoe later then challenged Kyle Fletcher for a match, I believe a TNT Championship match, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost 100% certain that MJF is going to cost this match for Briscoe, since Briscoe cost him the AEW Championship match, and then those two guys are going to have a match at All Out in September. That is my prediction. Another quick thing was that 4-on-4 tag match, the Don Callis family versus Jet Speed and Bro Dito, was my second favorite match of the night. It was a blast from start to finish, and the main takeaway I have from this match wasn't really the match itself, although it was great. I really think Takeshita is going to turn face and eventually challenge Okada for that unified championship. Definitely not at All Out. I think it's going to be a slow burn, and we're probably not going to see it until, early 2026, maybe at Revolution, we see Takeshita become unified championship. That is what I'm locking in right now, many months ahead of time, as it is till August. I think Takeshita will be the one to beat Okada for that unified championship, and I see it happening at Revolution. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. Like I said, a little bit quicker. You let me know down below your thoughts on Dynamite last night, your thoughts on Adam Copeland and Christian Cage being in a match against FTR at All Out in September. It's going to be one of the best matches of the night. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.